Okay, this is your playbook. We are all in the process of becoming millionaire real estate agents. We are on a journey with a destination that is assured. That destination, Zara, is to earn $1 million selling real estate, to gross $1 million, then to net $1 million, then to receive $1 million, and finally to give away $1 million a year. I walk like, talk like, look like, and have the checkbook of a millionaire real estate agent. Now, we're going to get back to our journey through the millionaire real estate agent eventually. However, I'm going to jump back into shift today, and we are going to focus on getting our unfair share. When the market shifts from more to less, we have to change what we're doing in order to get the same results or in order to get better results. And there's a lot of different shifts. Just because you hear the word shift doesn't mean that we're shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Because are we still in a seller's market? Say yes, we are. Are we going to stay in a seller's market for at least the immediate future? The answer to that is yes as well. All indications are that's not going to change for a while, maybe a long time. By definition, according to the National Association of Realtors, anything less than 6 months of inventory is a seller's market. 6 to 7 months is considered stable, and anything greater than 7 months is a buyer's market. Now, my definition is different than the National Association of Realtors. It's a little simpler. Anything less than 3 months of inventory is a seller's market. Anything over 3 months of inventory is a buyer's market. My definition is a little bit more aggressive. In other words, I want you to start thinking more like the buyers have the advantage when there's more than 90 days supply of inventory. The sellers have the advantage when there's less than 90 days of inventory. Or look at it like this. If there are 15 homes for sale between $500,000 and $550,000 within a 2 to 3 mile radius of the subject property, and 5 are selling every 30 days, that's a 90-day supply of inventory. In order to sell your home in that market, you have to be one of the top 5 properties. This is script. This is the conversation at the kitchen table. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in order for you to sell your home in this market, you've got to be one of the top 5 properties at any given point, because 5 are going to sell every 30 days. There's 15 for sale. That's the competition. In order to get your home sold, we've got to beat the competition, which means you have to be one of the top 5 properties. Now, when you get into a market where it's 4 months of inventory, now you've got 20 homes for sale and 5 are selling every 30 days. Big difference. Now you have to be one of the top 5 properties out of 20. And for me, buyer advantage. Seller needs to start getting more realistic with price. When there's less than 30 days of inventory or less than 60 days of inventory, a seller can price the property above market value. There's 10 properties for sale between $500,000 and $550,000. 6 are selling every 30 days. That seller could price their property at 102% of market value, and it's still going to sell. No brainer. If there's 4 months of inventory and they price their home at 102% of market value, it ain't selling. Got to start thinking more buyer advantage when you get over 3 months of inventory. All right, that was long-winded, but I hope you guys got that and you understand from a real estate agent's perspective in mastering the market, because that's part of your value proposition. Why should I hire you? I shared this at Stats on Tuesday. Why should I hire you? Because nobody knows the market better than I do. Nobody understands the science of supply and demand better than I do. I am the local economist of choice. And I'm going to help you get your home sold for the most money in the least amount of time, because I understand strategy when it comes to pricing better than anybody else. all script. Now, on page 49, Gary says, second paragraph, page 49 is shift. And I've still got extra copies in my office. So if you're in the room and you, Methune, I don't know if you have a copy or not. If you're in the room and you don't have a copy, see me after class and I will give you a copy. All right. Second paragraph, just because, matter of fact, if you want to run to my office, they're on the bottom shelf. Yep. Just because the market has moved from more to less doesn't necessarily mean you have to. Write it down, write it down, write it down. And Kina, if you want a copy, you got to come into my office. You knew I was going to say that. All right. Doesn't mean I'm recruiting you to my office. Don't go run to your team leaders and say, hey, John Dietz is recruiting agents to Coral Springs from other Mark Keller Williams offices. No, I'm not. I just want to see your beautiful face. And then I will gladly give you a copy. Just because otherwise, go talk to your team leader and tell them I want a copy of Chef. John's giving them away. You should too. There you go. Now I'm going to get in trouble. All right. As leads become fewer, you must recognize the situation and make a more concerted effort to generate them. You must be more rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. Look at it like this. Every day you show up for work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18, not 17 conversations, because when you know the rest, and I'll say it before we're done. Every day you show up for work and it's a competition to see who can get the leads first. We've got 30,000 agents. For once, I'm not exaggerating. We've got 30,000 agents that are a member of the Board of Realtors here in Broward County. Now that's just Broward, Palm Beaches. Now you get into Miami-Dade, which some of you are in Miami-Dade, Brian. You have 50,000 agents that are a member of your Board of Realtors. It's the largest Board of Realtors in the United States. There are more licensed real estate agents in the state of Florida than any other state in the country. It is fierce competition for the deals that are being done. On average in Broward County, there's over 4,000 homes being sold every single month. That's a lot. And there's 30,000 agents. I'll just stop. Think about that for a moment. Now, don't go to fear, because your success is up to you. I don't buy into there's an oversaturation of real estate agents. It's one of the things that I hear a lot when I'm talking to real estate agents. It's one of the excuses agents make for not hitting their goals. Well, there's too many agents. Well, okay, I agree with that. There are too many agents. However, that doesn't have anything to do with my success. My success is a choice. How many deals I close every month is a choice, because I choose how the focus and energy and urgency that I'm going to bring to lead generation. It's a competition. I'm going to say this again. You must become more rigorous and resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. All right, I'm going to go to my flip chart. Hold on 1 second. All right, so everybody on Zoom can see the flip chart. You're not going to be able to see me, but that's cool. You know what I look like. And everybody in the room can see the flip chart. Cool. So I'm working 50 weeks, 5 days a week. I'm taking 2 weeks off. Very first thing that goes in my calendar, by the way, when you're time blocking, the very first thing that goes in your calendar is time off. If you wait to put time off in your calendar, you're never going to take time off. So I'm working 50 weeks, 5 days a week, or 250 days a year. Now, my standard is 20 conversations a day. It's a standard. It's not a goal. It's a standard, which means I'm going to have 5,000 conversations in a year. Now, my focus is either to get an appointment. That means I'm putting opportunity into my pipeline. My focus is to get an appointment or add somebody to my database. That means I'm adding a new Met contact into my database. Or it's to get a referral, which means I'm putting opportunity into my pipeline from repeat and past clients and my sphere of influence, or it's to build a relationship with everybody who's in my database. So I'm making 20 calls a day. I'm having 20 conversations a day focused on either getting an appointment, adding somebody to my database, getting a referral, or building a relationship. Everybody with me so far? Are we good? All right, now I have 3 sources of opportunity that I am working, or 3 buckets that I am focused on in order to generate leads. Prospecting. Prospecting is calling for sell by owners. It's calling expired listings. Prospecting is circle prospecting around a property that just sold or a property that was just listed. And I'm going to slow down because I really want you guys to get this. If I did nothing else other than circle prospect every day, yeah, I can't spell and write at the same time. There we go. That says prospect, believe it or not. If I did nothing but circle prospect every single day, and I talked to 20 people every single day, Alan, and my conversation was, hey, Alan, this is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. The reason for my call is a home in your neighborhood recently sold. Listen to what I'm saying, guys. I didn't say I sold a home. I said a home in your neighborhood recently sold, which is great news. Our challenge now is we still have buyers that are looking for great homes like yours. And I was curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Now, I'm looking for, I was thinking of selling my home. I can't believe you called me. Wow, what a coincidence. This is awesome. Or I'm looking for, I know someone who's thinking of selling their home. Now, I don't care if they're thinking of selling their home next week, a month from now, or a year from now, because I'm looking for opportunity, period, not opportunity right now. Opportunity right now is cool, but that's not my only focus. Now, when I speak to someone who says, I was thinking of selling my home, or, yeah, me, but not for another year, right? That is a conversation that's creating opportunity that goes in my pipeline. It's also a new relationship. They're going in my database. So if Mithun said, yeah, that's me, but not for a year, my follow-up to that is, cool. I'd love to earn the opportunity to be your realtor. And I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means that I send market updates once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I add you to that group? Now, Jeffrey, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for one person to say yes. It's day 1 of 250 days. And my focus is I'm going to have 20 conversations today. It's a standard. It's not a goal. It's non-negotiable. I decide how successful I'm going to be because I decide when I'm going to stop making calls. And all I'm looking for is one person to say yes. Now, as long as I stick to that standard every day for the next 250 days, then a year from now, I will have 250 people in my pipeline, 250 people who are thinking about selling their home, because I'm not going to stop until I get somebody that says me. I'm thinking of selling my home. Or for sell by owner that says, sure, come on over and take a look at my home. I'm not going to stop until I get one appointment. It's a standard. And I'm not going to stop until I've added one person to my new Met database. So a year from now, I've got 250 people that I've added to my database, and I've got 250 people in my sphere or in my pipeline. Are we good so far?
Yes.
Now, marketing is another source that I use for lead generation. An example of marketing would be a golden letter. Now, a golden letter is a letter that you send to a neighborhood or to your database or to your sphere of influence, your past clients, friends and family, all of the above. And somebody calls me from my golden letter and says, hey, I got this really cool letter from you, and I'd love some more information on the market. Cool. I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That means I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I added you to that group? Hey, by the way, while I've got you on the phone, the market's super hot right now. There's lots of buyers who are looking for great homes like yours. And I was curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? You guys tracking me? And that conversation turns into a new Met in my database, and it turns into an opportunity in my pipeline. Now, once I've got 250 people in my sphere of influence, 300 people, 400 people, or if you're like Kevin, who's on the call, 17,000 people, not an exaggeration, that's pretty close to being the real number. And I am working my database for repeat and referral business. And the way I'm doing that is through a 36-touch smart plan. Now, part of that smart plan is once a quarter, once every 4 months, 3 months, once every 3 months, I'm making a care call. I'm following the Ford model of communication: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Hey, Diane, John Dietz, just checking in. Wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. How's your family?
Great.
Work, family's great. How's work? Are you still working as a CPA at blank, blank, blank accounting firm?
In my other lifetime, yes.
Yes. And if I had a referral for you, are you accepting new clients?
Absolutely.
Cool. So I'm going to look and see if I can find a referral for you, and I'll send that to you by email. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Cool. And I think I noticed on Facebook that you recently took a trip to Gainesville with your family. How did that go?
Well,
Did you guys have a good time?
yeah.
Love hearing that. Hey, before I let you go, just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling or buying? Who do you know that might be thinking about buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate? So I'm communicating with 250 people that live in my database using a 36-touch, making 4 care calls per year. And every single conversation includes, who do you know that might be thinking of selling? Who do you know that might be thinking of buying a home? And we know, because it's in here, it's in your playbook, therefore it's the truth. We know for every 12 people that live in your database, you're going to get 2 deals a year. One is going to be a direct sale or purchase. The other is going to be a referral. So take 250, divide it by 12 times 2. How many closed sales is that? Say a lot. We also know that when you meet with 250 people who are thinking of selling their home, whether it's a week from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now, doesn't matter. We know that when we systematically follow up over time until we get 7 to 10 days away from them putting their house on the market, that's when they get serious. We're creating emotional proximity. When you create emotional proximity, that simply means this person is going to hire the real estate agent that's closest to them when this day arrives. The moment they get serious, they're going to hire the person who has connected with them the best, who has done the best job of follow-up, of staying in touch. And we follow up forever because we reject rejection, because no is not a word that lives in our vocabulary. No simply means not yet. And when we do that, we know that the return on that is minimum 10%. That's 25 listings. 25 seller listings simply by meeting with one person every single day who's thinking of selling their home and then following up forever. I'm going to go back and read what Gary Keller had to say about this. And I just want you to think about what we just talked about as I'm doing this. You must be more rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. Let's go with the number 50,000 and say there are 50,000 realtors working in South Florida. Cool. What percentage of them do you think are following this model?
Less than 5%.
Diane says less than 10%. Anybody else? Can I tell you what I know it is?
5%.
Can I tell you what I know it is? And I know it is because it's my job to know. 1%.
Wow. That's crazy.
1%. 500 out of 50,000. By the way, those 500 are closing more than 80% of the deals. It's the 80-20 rule. Kevin, am I wrong?
Nope. 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 Nope.
You know, on this wall, thank you, Kevin, on this wall behind me, one of the bold laws is success is simple and not easy. Now, what I just did in 20 minutes was to share the blueprint for success in real estate. And it's a simple blueprint, isn't it? Mithun, simple, isn't it? Did they share this with you at the company you left to join Keller Williams? Does it make sense? Do you believe that if you did this every day, that you and I are having a conversation a year from now and you have crushed your goals?
Yes, and the numbers agree with you.
100%. Jeffrey? Now here's what happens, guys. We hit roadblocks and we start looking for solutions. And the solution is right in front of you. It always has been. Do the work and success will come. All right, talk to me.
No, on Friday, my first day last week, you said success is simple and not easy. And I will say that it's the one thing that I repeat in my head every day. Like, every day, more than 6 days. And that is the one thing that really stuck out. And honestly, it's just the first thing that comes to my mind when I wake up to just kind of remind me that whatever I have in front of me that day is just it's going to be attacked.
There you go, bud. There you go. There's someone, where's my sunglasses? Shoot, they're out of sight. I'm going to put my sunglasses on. There's someone whose future is so bright, it burns my eyes. That's Oprah Winfrey, by the way. So I love stealing quotes. I'm always going to take credit for them, by the way. They're mine. Who's next?
Hey, so yeah, John, I feel like every time I get on one of these calls, or even like when I'm talking to Sarah, it's the same thing said over and over again. Just do the work and everything will work out. You know, just keep calling, keep, following up, all of it. Because at the end of the day, it's like you're not going to see success immediately. However, it's persistence.
Always persistence, Rashad, and I'm proud of you. And I'll try to change it up a little bit so you don't get bored with me. And that said, I'm probably not going to. I've been with this company for 20 years. I've been in many mastermind meetings with Gary Keller, and Gary has been saying the same thing for 20 years. It really hasn't changed that much. If I look in my journals and I look at my notes, the notes I'm taking today are very similar to the notes I was taking 20 years ago, right? And the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary says, your database is your business is your database. Your database is your business is your database. Your business is going to grow in direct proportion to the size of your database. Kevin Morris bought in and he has 17,000 people in his database. He's like, you know what?
108,000.
How many?
108,000. 108,000.
Holy cow, I wasn't even close. 108,000.
That's amazing.
Now, there's a guy who said, Gary Keller said it, good enough for me. I'm going to do it. If I'm going to build a business, I'm going to build a really big one. Why not? Is it realistic? Yeah, probably not. But nothing great was ever achieved by a realistic person. Give me one more aha before we jump.
Hey, John. Morning. It's Miguel.
Miguel, haven't seen you in a while. And it's good to see you.
Yeah. I'm looking at the math here. When I do the math with the 50,000 agents and 4,000 properties selling per month, that's like 8% of the agents that are actually taking listings are taking the market. And still the 20% rule, the 80-20% rule. So based on what you're teaching, it's not hard to get in that 8% because, as what you said, it's only 1% of the agents are actually doing what you're doing. So
there you go.
it's
You're
phenomenal.
absolutely right. Yep. It's the domino. Oh, I love that. Gary Keller's book, One Thing. So what's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? It's the focus question. What's the one thing, guys? What do you think it is? Time to get to work. What's work? 20 conversations. Okay, I just answered for you. So what's your one domino?
Lead gen.
I'm just going to sit here and look stupid until somebody says the answer. It's
Lead
not lead
generation.
generation. It's not lead generation. 20 conversations, yes. That's it. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, time to get to work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations, not 19, not 18, not 17 conversations, because when I have 17 conversations and I settle because it's close enough, I don't have the 18th conversation, which could have been $1 million listing that I didn't get because I didn't have the conversation. Make care calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude. Thank you for taking my call. Always bring value to every single conversation. Focus on getting an appointment, getting a referral, adding somebody to your database, and building a relationship. Find somebody today that is thinking of buying a home or selling a home. Doesn't matter if it's next week, 6 months from now, or a year from now. Get face-to-face with somebody today that is thinking of buying a home or selling a home. And then follow up with them forever. Reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember that people will never change their mind, but what they will do is make a new decision based on new information. Brian did a great job of demonstrating that at the beginning of today's call. Your job is to follow up in order to create emotional proximity so that when they make a new decision, Jose, that new decision is going to be to hire you.
This with me.
Here you go, Rashad. I love it. All right. Great job, everybody. I'm going to stop record. Give me 1 second.